Have you ever received a clear prompting from God? Maybe a dream to start a podcast or a business, or maybe to heal a relationship. And then immediately you felt a wave of panic because you have no idea how to actually do it. Most of us shut down when the vision that we have is bigger than our current capacity. So today we're tackling the practical question, how to faith goals. And by the end of this episode, you will have an amazing toolkit of hacks to break down the massive downloads into manageable steps. We're going to help you solve the pain of spiritual paralysis by showing you how to pivot when the path changes. We're moving from being overwhelmed by the vision to empowered by the process. Stay tuned. Ordinary women, extraordinary faith. When God calls, we say yes. The Arise Women of God podcast. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Arise Women of God podcast. I'm your host, Tamara K. Anderson, and joining me today is Amy Johnson from our Women Warriors of Light Advisory Board. Over the past couple of days, we've defined what faith goals are and why we need them, and now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. First, we're going to discuss how to capture the download God is giving you based on how you actually process information. Second, we'll share the National Geographic Zoom story, which is actually the secret to not running away when God shows you a huge mission. Third, we'll talk about the 42% rule and how to use visual anchors to keep your goal right in front of your face. And finally, we're going to tackle the elephant in the room. What to do when all hell breaks loose and your progress completely stops. But first, let's talk about capturing the download.
I do everything with my journal and my pen and God on my knees. Everything. If I have to make a decision, and every morning, that's how I do it. I know that doesn't always work for everyone, but that's how I do it. I write down what I think I hear him say as best as I can.
I love that too. I also process things by writing, and so I just have journal after journal of Tamara just writing things down. But I know that not everybody processes this way. What are some of the other ways you've seen people process? I know some people talk it out, right?
Well, I'm also a talker, and that's like it's really helpful for me to have a good friend so that I can talk it out and get it out and think it out. And I'll often say, if I'm in a safe place with someone, I'll often say, hang on, be patient. It feels like it's coming as I'm talking, right? Um, but I have a friend who really values the inspired counsel of others. And so she will ask a question and she will have someone else talk it out. And then she can glean from what they say, what is inspired for her and how to move forward for her.
Whether you're a writer or a talker, the key is getting that inspiration out of your head and into the physical world. But once it's on paper, that big picture may feel like a super heavy weight on your chest. Amy has a specific way of asking the Lord to break that weight down into bite-sized steps.
One of the most important things I do is often get a big picture in my brain of what God wants. And if I just stare at that big picture, that's too much. So I am forever asking, how? What does that look like? And have the Lord break it down smaller and smaller and smaller until I feel like, okay, that I can do today.
If God showed us the whole map all at once, we would probably run screaming, right? I know I would if I had seen the full scope of Women Warriors of Light years ago. It's like those zoomed in pictures we see in magazines, where you only see a tiny piece of texture until the lens pulls back. Amy's going to share a little bit more about this analogy.
And when I was a little girl, we had National Geographic made a kids magazine called World coming, but on the back of the World, there was these zoomed in pictures and you would get this much and it would say, what do you think this is? And we would stare at those pictures forever. And then you'd read the answer and you were like, oh, that's what it really was. And I feel like that's how God is that we think we're getting this big picture, but really we're just zoomed in on this little tiny section. And as we go to him, say, how do I do this? How do I do this? And things start to unfold, we realize, oh, there's a much grander landscape here that I could not even have understood.
We only see the zoomed in part, but God sees the forest. To stay focused on our little section of woods, we have to use every psychological advantage we have, starting with the power of the pen. All right, so we've talked about brainstorming with God, getting the idea, writing it down. There's creative ways to do it. If you like looking at something on your mirror, you could even take like a 3x5 card, write the big goal in marker, and either laminate it, or a totally redneck hack is to take packing tape and put it all over the 3x5 card, and then you can write on it with dry erase markers and write like a weekly goal on there. So,
Or hang it in your shower.
or, oh, yes, put
Once
it
it's
in your shower.
laminated, you can do anything with it.
Yeah. If you prefer having it as a lock screen on your phone, there's ways that you can build a screensaver super simply, like in PowerPoint or Canva, and just change that out. Maybe if you spend a lot of time in your car, you put a note in your car, these are my goals this week and I'm going to accomplish them. Or God will inspire you to find creative ways that you can record the goal somewhere where it's in your face. Just the act of writing a goal down
It's huge.
means you're 42% more likely to actually accomplish it. So
It's huge.
huge.
It's huge.
If you want to increase the chances that you'll do it even more so, talk to somebody about it. Find somebody that you can say, hey, I'm setting this goal. We call them an accountability partner.
Mhm.
And maybe you're setting a goal too. Maybe we can hold each other accountable. Pick somebody that you love, that you trust, that you feel safe with, and that you can maybe support each other. Because I've found that to be so very helpful in my life when I'm setting big goals, especially ones that are scary or hard, or when you have obstacles. It's nice to have somebody to say, talk to and say, I had a really hard week, and here's why. All these things came up. I didn't reach my goal. And
Yeah.
maybe you can help me brainstorm my way through this so that you're not tackling it alone, right?
And putting the goal where you can always see it.
Yes.
When I first started doing Mary Kay, I was determined to become a director really fast because I had five little children and I needed to provide. And so Mary Kay's all about doing that. And so I've did every step they taught us to do. And one of them was keep it where you can see it. And so I would walk past this massive goal of becoming a director and did it in 8 months because it's in your face, it's in your space, it's in your brain, it's what you're thinking about, it's what you're praying about. And you see opportunities to move forward because it's always there.
From vision boards to whiteboards to redneck hacks with packing tape on your mirror. Whatever it takes to keep the goal right in front of your face, that's the important thing. But even with the best vision board, there are weeks when everything seems to go wrong. That is when you need to understand the damn principle. I always found it fascinating that one of the meanings of the word damn is to stop progress.
Yeah.
That's what, if you dam up a river, it stops its progress. Satan is damned. He cannot make any further progress. And so he is jealous of all of us as we move forward and make progress in our lives. And so he wants us to stop and be miserable like he is. And so just remember that that is the adversary's tactic, and he uses it quite effectively all the time. You feel guilty and you feel shame, and the adversary starts putting these negative thoughts in your mind, and you're just like, ah, oh, you want to give up.
Yeah.
You want to say it's not worth doing. And if you want to keep moving forward, that's why yoking yourself with Jesus is so important. And we have a free resource for all of you amazing women out there called our Guide to Goal Setting. And in this free download on our Women Warriors of Light website, you will find a Cast Out the Adversary page, and it walks you through casting him out along with any tools that he's using, because it's spiritual warfare here, ladies, bringing in light, and calling on angels to help fill you full of light, help be your companions. And I tell you, anytime I feel discouraged and I walk myself through that, I end up leaving. It's like the anxiety's gone. I've cast out anxiety. I've cast out discouragement. And you can cast out those feelings and bring in confidence and faith and peace. And I tell you what, that one thing alone has helped me so much with my goals, because when I'm feeling discouraged and don't want to keep going, I know God has my back. And if I just cast out darkness and bring in God's light again and kind of yoke myself to Him again, then I feel like I have the energy to keep moving forward, yoked to Jesus. If you need that specific, cast out the adversary protocol that we mentioned in today's episode, you can find it inside our free A Guide to Goal Setting for Christian Women. It's a beautiful download that includes the sacred brainstorm and warrior hacks to make your goal visible and achievable. The link for this is in the description below. Go be a progress maker today, my friends. And until next time, may you arise, do it God's way, God strong.